Ho yay, ho yay, ho yay! Harry and Meghan are getting married today.
Prince Harry and American actress Meghan Markle's wedding attracted thousands of Brits and tourists alike to Windsor on the 19th of May 2018. The wedding was an international phenomenon, bringing in millions and millions of television viewers worldwide. At this point in time, the world expects that the happenings of the British royal family would be televised for everyone to see, from weddings and births to coronations and deaths. Popular television shows such as The Crown explore the lives of the British royals for millions of online streamers. The royal family has seeped their way into popular culture, replacing political power with social status. However, the royal family were not always so willing to publicise their lives.
The royal family are really they preserve British heritage. They are seen very much as a symbol of national identity, the pageants and the rituals that they have, as well as head of the Commonwealth. So the royal family have a worldwide reach, really, and are a source of fascination, I think, around the world. I think the number of people that want to watch the royal weddings and other royal events testifies to that.
The British royal family is larger than Britain. They rule over the Commonwealth, which is comprised of 53 nations, including Canada, Australia, Jamaica, and New Zealand. At one point, a quarter of the world's land masses were under the British Empire. Because of this, they are truly international icons and important figures throughout the world.
I mean, there's the saying that the sun never sets on the British Empire, meaning that at least in some part of the world, there's the British Empire, exists while the sun is still in the sky.
The royal family's role in the public eye and their concern about their image began in more modern times. King Edward V changed the royal family's Germanic name of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha to Windsor in 1915 during the anti-German sentiment of World War I. This act of brand reposition was the first of many attempts of the royal family to control their public image.
They have controlled their image more and more tightly in recent years and really adopted the principles of branding. And that dates from way back. I think it's really in the last 10 to 15 years that we see the royal family really trying to control their image much more strongly after the debacles and the scandals of the 1990s.
Essentially, they have almost 30 people, if not more now, because of a new entrance into the family, whose basic job is to control the image. I think that they've lost control quite a bit of that image management. I think social media and consumer kind of co-creation that social media allows has caused that royal family image to they don't have control over it like they used to, and they can't really control the sort of negativity.
Some argue that the royal family's modern role in society is important to Britain's economy. However, many critics have a more negative view, believing that they take more than they give.
The royal family is like the dictionary definition of undeserved everything. I mean, they were born into it. They have I don't even think they make a claim to deserve anything. I mean, it's like it's a relic from the past. It's sort of a weird pulled over from a less progressive time in history that for some reason still exists. So there's nothing deserving about the royal family's position. There's nothing deserving about the attention we pay to them. There's nothing deserving about the property that they have.
I mean, Forbes magazine said that this brand was worth $80 billion. And there's, a lot of people who come out and complain about how, they're just poachers using all of our money and all, but there's plenty of evidence to show that the royal family keeps tourists interested, it draws tourism.
The royal family helped preserve a large number of historic palaces, for starters, and they do this very well, and they provide a lot for the tourism market. And I think that the tourism market would definitely be the lesser if we didn't have the associations of the royal family.
The world's largest ball of twine generates tourism, but it's not really a great national priority to support for a national government. I mean, a ton of things can generate tourism. You could just stack a stack of gold coins a mile into the sky, and that might generate tourism. But that doesn't make it a good investment of public dollars. You know, a good investment of public dollars is the health and welfare of the citizens of the nation, and making it a nice nation will also generate tourism, I think.
If the royal family are no more than figureheads, holding no actual political power and just wealth and social status, why do people all around the world care about their day-to-day lives?
Yeah, I guess if I was doing amateur psychology, I would guess that I think there's a basic for escapism, you know, boring and dreary lives, and be able to live vicariously through somebody who's living a fabulous life that we would like to imagine ourselves being able to live one day. So I think that's the function of the royal family. That's the function of celebrity. But it's sort of like a childish thing that the governments of major nations shouldn't be encouraging.
The royal family is very much composed of human brands, if you like. You know, each one is in themselves a particular personality and can be looked at as having a particular image surrounding them. And so the human factor means that people engage with them on a more emotional level and like to follow their lives, a little bit like a soap opera, really.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Heritage House. Come on in, I'll show you around. There's welcome on the door here. This is the start of my collection all around here. This is a lot about Her Majesty. And over here is Her Majesty and Prince Charles, who will be king one day. It's Her Majesty here with Prince Harry. And this dress here is a copy of Kate's dress that she wore on the night of the engagement. It's made by Issa, which are the same people. Here we have our adorable children. This is Prince George here. This is a doll that was made when he was quite young, more or less the time he went abroad. And I think it's quite a good likeness of him, actually. This little tea set I had made in Covent Garden. He's on every piece, on the jug, on the cups and the saucers. He's on everything. I couldn't find one in the shop, so I had one made. And these little slippers come from Prince Charles's shop at Highgrove. I saw them in a newspaper and I just fell in love with them. They've got lamb's wool in there, and Prince Charles is very keen on lamb's wool. And this is little Charlotte. I mean, she is just adorable. This is her at her christening. I went to the christening. It was at Sandringham in Norfolk, and there were about 2,000 of us went to see them as a family of four. It's the first time we'd seen them as a family of four, so that was lovely. This is my Diana room, which I've had stained glass windows made for here. This is Althorpe here. This is me with her brother at Althorpe. You can see Althorpe in the background because I go most years there, sometimes more than once. Because I don't have holidays, I'm free to go where I want. When I was little, I was an only child. I always wanted to be part of a big family. My mum and dad used to talk about the royals and I used to listen to what they said. And as I grew up, I just felt part of their family in a funny sort of way. And that was, you know, when I was very young. But I just think that's why the royal family work, is because they are a family. If you had a prime minister, they're only there for a few years and then somebody else takes over. But with Her Majesty, it's family, and I think that's what I like best about it. The royal weddings are fantastic. The one of Harry and Meghan was so beautifully performed, but I suppose I've been to about 30 or 40 altogether. I think there's a magic about the royal family. It's almost as though they're the main players in a play. They've got the beautiful costumes, and they are beautiful, and we are the audience. We sort of watch what they do, and and we just love it. If you're a royalist, once you're a royalist, always a royalist, I would say.
The wedding of Harry and Meghan received both praise and backlash regarding Meghan's background as a divorced biracial American. Because of the media, the royal family's public image is constantly changing and adapting to modern times.
Kate's behaviour, I think it's well known, is much more tightly controlled. She doesn't really express a very strong personality, if you like. She's seen as the ever-smiling mother, and a very nice person, a humanitarian person, but she doesn't really express many of her own views. Whereas Meghan, I suspect, will be allowed to express more of her own views, because I don't think they'll be able to control them as tightly anyway. But also, it doesn't matter so much. Harry and Meghan can be more edgy, and the public will like that. It will actually make the royal family seem more accessible, I think.
The Royal House of Windsor may lack significant political power, but if they lever their status as social icons, they will endure for more centuries to come. The fate of the royal family rests on the shoulders of its future leaders. How Charles, William, George, how they make the Windsor dynasty more accessible to their subjects in the modern era will determine the survival of the British monarchy.